Hello, rectangular prisms and cylinders. We're going to work off of the examples. You can see it says go to worksheet. We're going to work off of here. It's a double-sided sheet. So I'll refer to it, but then I'll do some calculation writing here. That's why I have space. Okay. All right, so look, rectangular prisms is I said plural, but then is, okay. Rectangular prism is a convex polyhedron. Polyhedron versus polygon. Polygon is two-dimensional. Polyhedron, three-dimensional. Okay. Okay. The base is not a segment, but it's a face. Okay. So you'll hear base face is a rectangle. So what's the area of a rectangle? Length times width, or base times height, right? Okay. The height is the vertical length or the stretch from the base face. So it's, if you're staring at this, right? Like I know this is a cylinder, but like my base face here is like a circle, right? When we get to cylinder. So once you get the area of your base face, your height is that stretch. It's how high does it go? Okay. Yeah, I love Starbucks. Okay. So your base face is the shape of the base. It's the shape of the bottom. The height is going to be your vertical stretch or your vertical length upward. Okay. Okay, so what is the volume formula for rectangular prism? All right, so look, and if you're kind of confused by this, well, I'm playing it with you guys, and then we're going to do some in class. So, right. And then eventually you realize, oh, wait, I just multiplied 3 numbers. Yes, you do. Okay. So the volume of a rectangular prism is the V is for volume. Capital B is not little b like base times height. This is a capital B. Capital B stands for the area of the base face. So this capital B is going to change depending on the shape of your base face. So like the next video will cover, I think, cones and pyramids. And then the stretch here, that's your vertical height. That's how much it's then stretching upwards. Okay. All right. So until you get to here, because really when you're covering volume of three-dimensional figures, it's really only one formula. And you just know that this alters depending on your base face. Okay, but for a rectangular prism, so for specifically a rectangular prism, the volume formula is, well, the base is a rectangle. So what's the area of a rectangle? Length times width, and then you just stretch it up. That's it. So that's just your three-dimensional figure. It's length times width times height. That's it. Okay, all right, so look, what do I mean? So we're gonna go to the worksheet, okay, because nothing is better in math than actually visually solving it. All right, it says find the volume, round your answer to the nearest hundredth. For the pi form, yeah, that's easy. Okay, so here we go. They give you a lot of repeats here. You only need 3 numbers. So notice, I want this 12, right? So I'm gonna cross this one out because this is the same. I want this 10. So I'm going to cross this one out, and then I want this 9, right? Is that okay? Okay, so this is your rectangular prism. So when I'm looking at this, this is my length, this is my width, and this is my height. Length times width times height. And so for those of you where you're like, oh, yeah, I remember this. My volume is just length times width times height. So I'm just going to go 12 times 10 times 9. I'm done. And yeah, you can just strictly put that in. So you can just strictly go 12 times 10 times 9, and your answer is 1080. And it's yards cubed. And so that's your answer, right? Because yard times yard times yard, there's 3 yards, so cubed. Okay, that's your answer. Okay, but really quick, if I kind of just messy write it over here. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So look, this here, the 12 by 10, this is 12 and this is 10. This is your base face. It's a rectangle. And so that's why the volume is capital B for your base face, but my base is in the shape of a rectangle. And so a rectangle is length times width. And so that's where the length times width came for. Now, this is a polygon. This is a two-dimensional figure. How do I get it to be a volume? Well, it has to be a three-dimensional figure. And that's where you throw up the height. And what is it, 9? 9. And that was where the height came in. And so now you extended it and you built it upward. And that's how now it became a polyhedron, or a rectangular prism to be precise. And so that's where that height came in, the stretch. So volume is really only one formula. It's the base face stretched upward. That's it. So you have to use your eyes to figure out what is the shape of the base face. If we were in a classroom, that would be my always, that was my first question to all of you. What's the shape of the base face? And then you would say triangle, trapezoid, circle. And by that, I would say, okay, so it's a rectangular prism. It's a pyramid. It's a triangular pyramid. It's a cylinder. And we would build off of that. Okay. Okay, so anyways, like I said, we already got our answer, right? Here we go. Okay, so if we come to another one, let's see. I'll go to the back side. Let's try and find one that's on the back. Okay, like say we go to 24 on the back. All right, it's not laying down. So typically spatial, you know, when the shapes get rotated, that's where students kind of get a little kind of flustered. All right, so look, you want to find your base face. So say I'll do 12 by 11. So say this will be my base face right there. Okay, so this is my length. This is my width. So I already used this 12 and 11, so I'm going to cross it out. And so what's my height? The 6 is my height. So there's my base face. That's my rectangle. And then I'm going to blow it or extend it. And rather than going upward, it's kind of getting stacked sideways, kind of like a book. Okay, so then what's your volume? Your volume is capital B times H. Well, my base face is a rectangle, so that's length times width. And then I'm extend it or stretch it. And so what's 12 times 11 times 6? And then you just head on over. Don't do that. To a calculator. 792. And you get 792 meters cubed. And that's your answer. Easy? Okay, cylinders. Here we go. Okay, cylinders, they have a base face that's in the shape of a circle, like my Starbucks. It actually has coffee in it, so I can't tilt it, but you guys get it. Okay. It's in the shape of a circle. So my base face, so the area of my base face of the cylinder is a circle. And what's the formula for the area? Not area, circumference is pi r squared. And then the height is just that stretch. That's it. Okay, so if you go to your worksheet, let's just go to 2. All right, notice see how that's 2 kilometers? See how the arrow is pointing to the center? That means they're giving you the diameter. So that 2 is not the radius. That 2 is a diameter. So what's my radius? 1, because radius is half diameter. And then H is my 3, right? That's my height. Okay, so volume is base face times height. Okay, well then you ask yourself, well, what's the shape of my base face? My base face is a shape of a circle. So that formula is pi r squared and then times the stretch. That's it. So what's my radius? 1. So pi 1 squared times 3, right? So you can go straight to a calculator. And again, I want the pi form and I want the decimal form, okay? So shift pi times 1 squared. I know we could have left it out, but you know, we're being precise. Times 3, and I get 3 pi. So my volume here is 3 pi kilometers cubed. What is it as a decimal? Hit SD, 9.42. And there you go. There's your answer, right? So going back here, just to make a point, look, you first figure out your base face. This is your base face. That's your foundation. That's what you're building off of. And so it's a circle. It's pi r squared. So in this one, you were given a diameter of 2. But if the diameter is 2, the radius is 1. And so then you then blow it up by 3, and I'm going over, and that's where you get your cylinder. Okay, so then the volume is the base face times the height, but my base face is a shape of a circle, so pi r squared times the stretch. So then the volume was pi 1 squared times 3, and then we got 3 pi, or 9 42/100. Yes? Okay, this sheet will be uploaded. Again, I'm not going to have you do every single rectangular prism because it's a lot of redundancy. You didn't even do that many even when we were in the classroom. Like, you guys did half of the assignment. Okay, have a great day. Bye.